Hello, 안녕하세요 여러분. 제 이름은 Kevin. 미국 오하이오주에서 왔습니다. Today I'm going to tell you about my life in Korea while painting it on this canvas. I came to Korea at the end of 2009. I had recently been laid off from my job, and while looking for work, I came across job postings to teach English in Korea, which I think is a way a lot of people come to Korea. One kind of common assumption a lot of people would have is if you've lived in a country for 13 years, even accidentally, you would be fluent in the language. Unfortunately, that's not true in my case. I speak Korean at an intermediate level. I studied a lot my early years. I spent all of my Saturdays going to community centers and university courses that were offered for free. I work at the Korea Herald now as a copy editor and reporter for the culture desk. I've been to, practically all of the film festivals across Korea and interviewed many different directors and, done book reviews. And being able to speak Korean was not necessarily a prerequisite of the job, but all of the copy editors do speak some amount of Korean. Although it's an English newspaper, we're writing about issues that are in Korea. Translations might vary, so you have to kind of think about. The majority of the people who work at the Korea Herald are Korean, either by nationality or ethnicity or however you want to say it. For the copy editing department, we all at the moment are foreign, from Canada, US, England, South Africa, and Hong Kong. Lunch, we have a nice cafeteria in the basement. It's very nice, but I haven't been there in a few years. I live just a couple blocks away from here, actually. So for me, lunch is, not just a time for a meal, but a time to recharge. And I like to cook, so I go home and then I'm back. A lot of people who come here on an E2 visa or teaching English, it can be very hard to make the transition if you want to work in a different field. In my case, while working as an English teacher, I was also volunteering for some local magazines doing copy editing, so I was able to make connections there to other people in the industry while keeping my experiences sharp and my skills sharp. Found out about this job through one of them, and just being able to get the opportunity, knowing somebody wasn't necessary to apply for the job. It was publicly posted, but that is how I found out about it. As far as tips or words of wisdom, you have to be flexible. You can't be afraid to look stupid, to ask, maybe silly questions. To throw away your trash, you have to buy special plastic trash bags that are officially approved for throwing away trash, and that's something I didn't know when I first came to Korea, so that's a mistake that I was making for a while, but there's just no end of little things like that you might encounter. As I do, just one more other quick tip for living in Korea is that although tattooing in Korea is kind of a gray area, Korea has some of the best tattoo artists, so this is my dokkabi. If I was a much better artist, I would have tried that on the canvas, but my souvenir of my life in Korea, as well as kind of my protector, which is from the Korean mythology. There's some taboo about tattoos in Korea a little bit. I know, especially for teaching English with children, a lot of people are told that they have to be covered all the time. I think that's not really the case here at the Korea Herald. Actually, our editor was telling me a while ago about the tattoo she wants to get, so I don't think she's going to hold it against me. One of the bigger kind of issues, or maybe kind of sadness that I've had in Korea, my 13 years here, is realizing that life keeps going on for family and friends back home as well. In my 13 years here, I've lost my grandparents and a couple of uncles, and as well as I've had a few nieces and nephews born, and to not be there for important milestones, good or bad, is kind of an unfortunate reality of living so far away from home. How I feel in Korea after 13 years is a little bit complicated. I do feel like Korea is my home now. I can't say that I feel like I belong in the sense that Korea is a pretty homogenous society. I think to some extent you'll always feel like an outsider, and a lot of it is my fault that I don't speak perfect Korean, but even a lot of friends who I know who maybe are Korean American and they speak, pretty good Korean, they still often feel kind of, other or outside. Just there are some aspects of culture or upbringing that you won't share with the society that you live with. And for me, it was more important to be able to get out to other places, to get other perspectives. You create a new life wherever you are. And as I said, if I'm in Ohio, I feel homesick for Korea now too, because it is my home. Okay. Well, this is my masterpiece.
Oh, wow.
I started off kind of making like a kind of hill landscape that reminded me of home in Ohio, but I kind of transitioned that to my current home. The Korea Herald is located in Yongsan, and I'm just a couple blocks away. So I live on the 3rd floor, and from my rooftop I have this view of the Inn Tower, which is one of the landmarks of Seoul. And over here we have the cherry blossom. The nicest time to go bicycling for me, and have the petals falling all around you as you bicycle. Yeah, I tried to make kind of a nightscape, but I think I ended up more with some heavy smog. So, but here's a kind of a brighter cloud of hopefully cleaner air to come.
Nice.
Thank you for watching this video. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask in the comments down below. This is my life in Korea.
Let's do that one more.
What did I miss?
Can I have your photograph, please?